Hey guys, this is Manshark Sub LPs. I'm Sub, this is Crusader Kings II, and this is Millennia in the Making episode 21. We're currently playing as King Ludolf of Bavaria. He's a rather stellar, triple-chinned individual. He is the son of King Otto of Bavaria, formerly Duke of Brunswick, formerly Duke of Saxony. And we're plotting to murder our wife because she's given us 3 lovely daughters, which is great, but we want a son. We need a son. We're also at war with King Adalbert of Italy for the province of Aquileia here. It's a Prince Bishopric, but that's alright. We just want it in our realm. So let's unpause the game, pump up the speed a little bit, and see what's going on. We've got 2 armies raised. One of the besiegers, and the other one are just, some vassal levies that are kind of kicking around after taking out some Vikings. I have noticed a few things, but before I do that, I just wanted to point out this. We've covered that Duchess Dorifia has a bad inheritance going on, where she may take the Duchy of Tyrol out of our, or just the County of Innsbruck, who knows, out of our hegemony, because her heir is not of her dynasty. You can see here the red lettering over heir, whereas if we go to, say, her husband, no, that's wrong, whereas we go to us, see we have black lettering, and it tells us that it's a dynastic heir. And it makes several considerations. If you, as a player, have this happen, you are 1 death away from losing the game. It's basically one of the only 2 ways that you can lose a game. The other way is to lose all of your provinces. But see, if we were playing as Duchess Dorifia here, we would probably be about to lose the game. And that's not good. So, sucks to be her. Another thing that I noticed, if we just click on the King of Italy, he only has 3 king allies at this stage. So he's allied with the King of East Francia, the King of Lotharingia, which is this one here, that's his brother I believe, and the King of West Francia. So, previously he was also allied with the King of Aquitaine. So something has happened in Aquitaine. And I know what it is because I checked it out before I started recording, of course, but something has happened in Aquitaine, which means that the King of Italy is no longer allied to the King of Aquitaine. And if we just click on the dynasty map, we can see exactly what that is. Aquitaine is no longer held by a Karling, it is held by a member of House de Toulouse, specifically King Bernat II, and he has quite an impressive House crest. That's quite a nice one. It is significantly better than the goddamn Karling crest. Look at this shit. Oh, it infuriates me when I see this. Look at this. It's terrible. It's lazy. It's just... Oh, I'm going to get rid of it before I end up declaring war on somebody. Let's continue with our current war. So we're moving our troops to Cantan, which is this province here, just to keep on going with that war score. And you can see here, this Italian army, which means it's not led by anybody, because down here you can see that's the army of Gottschalk, because it's led by Gottschalk. Whereas the Italian army is trying to move to Aquileia to besiege it and take it back, presumably. It's not going to be a great fight in the mountains, because they will stop in Aquileia. See, there we go, and they're besieging it at a rate of 12.7. That's not good. They'll capture that well before we capture the citadel of Villach. So, we're going to take our army, move them back. We are heading up one of the flanks, but we should be alright at that. Alright, so they'll get there on the 18th of July. Okay, the Italian army is engaging us. You can see they're moving into Cantan on the 19th. That may help them if they manage to flee, but I'm not sure if they will. If we stop moving, they will also stop moving. So, we might as well just keep this up. And this could be fairly lossy for us because I believe we might be crossing a river. It's a little bit of a guessing game to see if you're crossing a river or not. It's less so than it is in Europa Universalis, but see here with Treviso, how there's a river moving through the middle of the province. If you attack it from one side, I believe that you are crossing a river. Actually, oh no, this is wonderful. This is actually really wonderful. See, in Europa Universalis, it doesn't tell you. You have to guess. In this one, in Crusader Kings II, we get a little notice here. So, any attack between Aquileia that involves people moving into or from Aquileia to either Istria, Crane, Canten, or Steiermark, which coincidentally is all of these provinces, will involve a river crossing. What I'm going to try and do, just to be a little sneaky bastard for a bit, is wait until the 17th and then tell these guys to stop moving. There might be a slight delay in the AI redirecting its troops to not move, and they'll only move a day after. So we just got to keep a very careful eye on the clock. And when it hits the 17th, we're going to pause the game. Oh, there we go. Stop moving. Now they're moving to Istria. That's good. You know what? I'm going to start these guys moving again, because that way the AI will not say, oh well, hang on, we're not going to be attacked, so we can stop moving and keep on besieging. So, they'll arrive in Istria on the 1st. We'll get to Aquileia on the 12th. We don't want to end up in Aquileia because, well, there's also a river between Aquileia and Istria. So what we want to do, yeah, see, and that's the only river connection that Istria has. We want to force them to move to Istria, then we'll move to Crane. And from Crane, if they stay in Istria, which they might not, they might try and move back to Aquileia, so we might have to, you know, do some dickery again. And we've got a little siege going on up there, that's us. We're not going to keep those vassals up for too long, just because the penalty isn't great. Like, I don't like having penalties. But we'll still keep an eye on them, just in case an army turns up and trashes them, which still wouldn't be a good thing. Militia training ground has been built in Munchen. We can't afford to buy anything else. But you see, we get a significant amount of levies out of that place now. One problem with offing our wife is that it will reduce our demesne size, because part of your demesne size calculation is based on your stewardship. We're not bad, like, we're below average with stewardship, but we're not bad. But she gives us 7 points. So, you know, half of her ability rounded down. Our counsellor actually gives us the most, because he's got 20. He's a good counsellor. Good bloke. But yeah, so we're going to have to find somebody after we offer who has a decent stewardship ranking. I'd like one of a decent learning rating too, because our learning could really improve. I'm not sure if technology is based on state learning. No, it's based on personal learning. You can see there I'm only getting 1 point from learning in the calculation. Ugh. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Ludolf is not a scholar. Okay, so they're going to move to Istria now. There they go. And instead of sending our troops through to Aquileia, we now redirect them down to Crane. They'll be there in 14 days. And he has already started moving back to Aquileia. But he will move back to Aquileia after we get to Crane. We probably won't be able to make it to Istria in the 6 days difference, but we can attempt to stop his move. Because we're a superior army, like we outnumber him almost, well, we outnumber him by over 4 to 1, so we're good there. So what we do is we wait for the 15th, we get raided by some goddamned Vikings, but luckily they can't progress that siege, because they don't have enough men. One thing you may notice is that all of these Viking raiders turn up at half morale. There's a very good reason for that, and I'll just explain it as we continue with our dicking around with the Italians. Previously, well, you can't do boats. Boats don't fight anything. There is no naval combat in this game. Boats are purely transport. Okay, now, so what we're going to do here, just quickly, is we're going to tell our guys here, just check the time. Yes, so we'd be 3 days late on catching that army. So we order a move into Aquileia, and what we should see is these guys will stop moving. There we go. They've stopped. We reorder the move. We'll be there in 9 days. Let's see if we can catch them. Yeah, I'd say we've caught them. Excellent. Anyway, so, boats don't fight each other. Very, very simple sort of thing. There's no naval combat in this game. Yeah, we've clearly won this confrontation. Almost instantly too. It's pretty good. So that'll give us a bit more war score. But yeah, so boats don't fight. Boats are pure transport. Pretty good. 15.3 war score, 9.5 prestige, a little bit of mil-tech, and complete wipeout of their army. And now we just sit here and besiege Middelburg, I guess. Unless the king would like to offer peace. Nope. It's cold as a pansy. It's on. Right, so an optimal strategy as a Viking is to just go around and raid shit. You can go down these rivers and raid them, and it's all good. And as long as you keep an eye on your guys, because if they get caught by a big army, they will die. Like, you know, it's just simple. Oh, now there's an issue. What do we got? Is West Francian involved? Nope. Okay, so this army is over-reporting its size. You can see Duke Hesso's army is only 2,263 strong. The army of the King of West Francia is 2,373. However, we're not at war with West Francia. I'm not sure if that'll actually contribute to the siege, but what we're going to do is take these guys and order them to move all the way down just to reinforce. Because if we end up fighting all of these guys, we might lose that. Especially if we're forced to do it in a mountain. Let's just see what happens. Come on. Nope, they're coming at us. That's fine, actually. They'll be coming across a river. I really hope that we don't end up fighting the West Francian army there. We shouldn't. That would be really fucking strange if we did. We're not at war with West Francia. In any way. We shouldn't even be hostile to them. Let's just check if that. No, no, no. Those are all Nords. We're hostile towards the Italian revolt. But yeah, we shouldn't be hostile to... Yeah, you can kind of see there's a grey tag and a red tag, and that indicates that there are two armies and we're only hostile against one. So if we end up fighting this entire mass, I'm going to be kind of pissed off. We should win it. But just in case, we'll also pull these guys down here. They won't get there in time to help out if a battle does occur, but, you know. I'm a little nervous about this. Right, so anyway, an optimal strategy as a Viking in wartime, like outside of raiding, was to only have little armies on the land. Have your big armies sitting off the coast. It does take a little bit of time to get to the land, but not as long as you'd think. And so, I'll use the example of the Mongol hordes up here, just quickly pausing the game for all of this. The Mongols rocked up over here. They started here before all of this got added. And they'd just sweep over and all this sort of stuff. And the Mongol hordes are something like, you know, 3 armies of 60,000 men each, and they're unaffected by attrition, and it's terrible for everybody involved. So what I did, as the Vikings, these rivers are navigable as a Viking, or as a Norse guy. Vikings were the names that they only gave to the raiding parties. When they weren't raiding, they were Norse. When they were raiding, they were Vikings. Anyway, so I'd just dump them in these rivers on massive fleets. And the Mongols would come across and engage my admittedly small army, like maybe 20,000 guys, because that's all I could put in the province without killing them because of attrition. As soon as they did that, I just land everybody. It was called the boat bomb, I believe, where you just carry around your armies and dump them. And because they'd dump at full morale, they were fine. And they didn't suffer any of the usual penalties associated with making a marine landing, because there was already a battle in place. So they nerfed that by making armies disembark with half morale, and that actually does carry through to the battle. So, yeah, that sucks. I mean, you know, it stops the Vikings from being massively OP, and yeah, it looks like the West Francians joined in for reasons that's really fucking bizarre. Luckily, they are taking massive penalties because of the river crossing. Let's see how we do. We're actually the superior force, I think. My only worry here is that Ludolf might take a wound or something. That could happen. It'd be good if we could capture the King of West Francia, though. Okay, we've wrapped up the middle. That's great. I don't know what's happening on the side there. Okay, we've wrapped up the main West Francian column. Done, we've won it. Beautiful. 75% war score. That must have been pretty much their entire army. 37.3 prestige, 1.8 mil tech. Okay, and let's just get rid of these armies. We don't need them anymore. Let's declare victory. Yes, you are totally beaten. There we go. The Bavarian-Italian de jure war over Aquileia has ended. King Ludolf of Bavaria has won. And we've probably made things fairly difficult for King Adalbert in his current war. Well, he's only incidentally involved in this one. But he's going to have an issue with the Italian revolt, I hope. We're just going to move our army back to Aquileia so that we can do something about it. And we can see we've gained this guy as a vassal, the Prince Bishop of Aquileia. That's fine. That's good. Mission success. And we just get these guys back to friendly ground. Come on. 28th of November. Jeez, it takes them forever to move around. There's a Byzantine army down there for some reason. Is that Byzantia? Oh no, they're taking over Croatia. As you do. Luckily, we're not in the de jure territory of the Byzantine Empire yet, so they really have no reason to declare war on us, so they can't. Even though they're of a different religion, kind of, they're still part of the Christianity group, so they can't do that. Alright, and then God's Chalk. And luckily, Aquileia is Catholic. They are Italian, but they're also Catholic. And they're actually run by a German, so province might change at some point. Maybe. Do we still have a truce with anybody? We shouldn't have a truce with this guy. We never had a truce with this guy. But he is still allied to the King of goddamned Hungary. He can't call him to war, but that's due to not being able to join the current war that they're involved in. He may be able to join the war if we start it. Let's ship these guys up to Nuremberg. And also I'd like these vassal opinions to go back to normal. What I'd recommend doing if you're playing this game and you find yourself in a situation where you're not sure if somebody will join in a war, let's just go back to this thing. If you're not sure if somebody will join in a war because of the Allies thing, save. Declare the war. See what happens. It's a learning experience. See, we could declare this war and then none of these guys could join in and we could just trounce over these like little provinces here that we're after. And that would be wonderful. It'd be great. Everybody would win except this guy. But On the other hand, we're not worried about these raiders anymore because now they're in Lothringia and not Gelrea. But on the other hand, if we did declare war, because I'm not save scumming in this particular one, because, well, to begin with, running the game in windowed mode, like I have to for my capture software to actually record, sometimes it crashes on a save. It still makes the save, but sometimes it just crashes. And yeah, I'm not particularly keen on showing everybody my desktop. Not for any, you know, strange reasons. It's just, it would be unprofessional. So, we're not save scumming, so we're not going to just declare war in the hopes that something happens. We could up our shipbuilding, but it's really not a thing at this stage. We're not dealing with ships, so, you know. We could increase castle infrastructure. Oh, now this is something that's actually just popped up, so that's good. Probably because of these massive increases. You know what, though? I'm not going to invest in it, because it's already got a huge investment. Like, it's already got a huge chance of increasing per year. So I'm going to save these meager points that I get. And we're just kind of going to see if we can see if there's anybody who we can declare war on. What was the damned thing? Was it diplomatic relations? Wow. We can declare war on a lot of people, I guess. We can't declare war on the Italian king because we'll have a truce with him. Let's see when that runs out. On the 5th of November, 914. So yeah, it's still got 10 years or so left in it. We can break it to get one of these other ones, but it'd cost us over half of our prestige. It would make every other Christian ruler hate us, and we'd get -5 diplomacy, which isn't a good thing. Let's just stick to trying to offer wife. I'm not particularly interested in paying anybody money for it. We've got enough plot power. And there's not really much else we can do. It's not the correct time of year to have a feast or a fair or a hunt. Apparently East Francia is a target for us. Let's just see what our particular... Okay, yeah, so we've got some Casus Belli here against Ulm, Selly, and Brajau. Brajau is that one there. We'll be claiming it for Duchess de Rifia. So we'd still maintain her as a vassal, I believe. And Chelly is this one up here. Again, we'd probably still maintain it as a vassal, but I'm not too sure about that. And this guy already has enough land. And there's Ulm, which is this one here, which we can claim for either the Duke of Bavaria or Count Hugo of Kempten. Not particularly interested in letting the Duke of Bavaria have more stuff. Just saying. What about the Moravians? We have no Casus Belli against the Moravians. She's 13. I'm pretty sure we've already checked whether we've got marriage options involving her. Yeah, we really don't. I mean, you know, it's just not great. She won't even marry him matrilineally. Oh, excellent. We had a faction disband. The Independence faction is still hanging around, but, you know. A group of hedge knights has come to visit Bavaria. Donald has met with them. Who the fuck is Donald? Oh, my chancellor. And asks for my reply. So, we've had this event before. It's plus prestige minus gold, plus less prestige minus less gold, or lose a bit of opinion. So, we'll welcome them reluctantly. We're not interested in losing much gold. We like our gold. Gold is good. Gold is good. That's why we expel the Jews. To steal their gold. And see, we can't let them back in because you need to have a new ruler for that. Okay, plots are fine. There's nothing I care too much about with the plots. Sure thing. These people aren't anybody important. No, no. The Steward of Anhalt. He's a heretic. Anyway, one of the hedge knights has been injured, as usual. So, again, we like our gold too much, so we'll just let him stay at the castle. -5 prestige, +5 piety. It doesn't matter. This fellow is a heretic. That's not good. Actually, he is a really terrible individual. He's a shy, coward, slothful, greedy, possessed, homosexual, mystic heretic. He has no redeeming traits. He's also speaking in tongues with the voice of Satan. Let's imprison him. Done. We could execute him just because he's lowborn, no one gives a shit. We could also ransom him for 10 gold. Let's keep him in jail. We can't have any heretics running around. Actually, you know what? Where are we? He's more than just a heretic. He's like Satan personified. So, deal with it. It's perfectly logical, killing heretics, right? Not just any heretics, possessed heretics. I'm going to just keep on justifying that to myself. So, we would... What would our war be? Would we go to war for Bohemia or for Brandenburg? Bohemia is going to be easier to take because it's... the provinces aren't... Well, the last time I checked, the provinces were still Catholic. Yep. So they don't have the ridiculous supply limit issues that we have on pagan home territory. That goes away eventually. If we come down here, if we had military organization 4, it just doesn't matter anymore. We remove the pagan homeland attrition penalty. So that's one reason why we've been pumping up military organization, as well as the whole retinue thing. I'm not getting any progress on that. Really like to get rid of this wife, so I can get a new one, make some babies. You, how much do you want? 20 gold, my god. We're just gonna have to wait it out and hopefully she dies. Oh, excellent. Our Chancellor has improved the King of Hungary's opinion of us. So, let's see how appropriate that is. Where are we? Okay, this is new. Something's happened here. Ah! Ah! Alright! We got a game going on here, boys. Alright, okay. Let me explain this. So, High Chief Wincenti of Sorps was allied with the King of Hungary due to the King of Hungary's daughter being married to Chief Jaromir, his brother. Chief Jaromir died last month. Or, you know, actually, was it last month? No, he died earlier this year. Which removed the alliance. Because there's no longer a relationship there. There's no longer a familial bond. So, one, we can take our Chancellor out of Esztergom and put him somewhere else. I mean, it's good that this guy has a nice opinion of us, but that's great. It's a cool story and all. Let's just quickly work out where to put our vassal. I'm thinking... Oh, on other news, the only bad thing about the King of Aquitaine no longer being a Karling is that we no longer have an alliance with him. So, you know, whatever. But he is quite a nice fellow, so, you know, that's alright. We don't actually have any vassals who don't really like us. I mean, the worst that they can say is the Prince Bishop of Aquileia. We could try bolstering the Countess of Gelrea's opinion of us, because she's leading that independence faction, so let's actually do that. She's obviously holding the title of Gelrea, so we'll just take our Chancellor and dump him in Gelrea. Now, we have a war to prosecute, because this guy only has some petty kings as backup. I mean, yes, Petty King of Ostland owns a lot of territory, but he's also already in a war, which he's winning, but that's alright. That's fine. So, Bohemia or Brandenburg? Poland would be a very bad choice because it's a single damn county and no one cares about it, really. And it puts us in touch with Poland itself, which would be kind of neat, because then we could have our own little holy wars against Poland. But we're not actually going to do that. We're still trying to rejoin up all of our lands and, incidentally, get Bohemia. Are these guys still... No, they must have finished that war inconclusively for Praha. Unfortunately, taking these two counties wouldn't let us do anything with the Duchy of Bohemia. We need 3. So I think we're going to attack Brandenburg. Yeah, we're going to attack Brandenburg. Our bishop isn't really doing anything important. Alright, here we go. Still got about, what, 20 minutes, I think? Maybe 15 left in the episode, so... Yeah, and he's going to call in nearby Slavic rulers, but again, that's just going to be these guys, and maybe the King of Poland, and we can probably take the King of Poland. Let's go. So, we're not going to raise our vassal levies first, we're going to raise our personal levies. We can see we're hostile to this army here. So we do have to do a little bit of avoidance. And if we check, we now have 1,000 men is the supply limit for Laxine and Brenneberg, whereas we can fit 20,000, which we can't even raise in Pleasant and Litimer each, and 800 into Lubas. So we're just going to try and gather some guys together and hope that these guys are kind of committed to their little fight there. And that should be enough to just park in here. We don't need to be exact, we can lose a few men due to attrition. And see, he's raised up as many men as he actually can, which isn't much. And fortunately, we will have enough men to progress sieges. That's an actual big issue when you're involved with... I don't want to run them through there, I want to run them like that. There we go. And these guys can go up there. It's a big issue with sieges in pagan lands if you have enough men to actually progress the siege without exceeding the supply limit. Okay, so this should come along quite nicely for us. We're not raising vassal levies at this point because we still have this penalty, and I don't want to, you know, I'm pretty sure we can take this guy. He says, as many other people joined the war. Who joined? The Chief of Daimon, the High Chief of Pomerania, and the High Chief of the Obertrites. Yeah, so it's just these guys. I really don't care. Okay, he's moving into Weimar, that's fine. He can move into Weimar all he likes. I can bring a lot of troops against him in Weimar. The King of Smaland accepted an alliance call, so it's just these couple of provinces here, I think. Yep, that's fine. It's alright, and the Chief of Rana, which was this little province here, is joined in. Again, it's fine. I mean, yes, they've got fairly sizable armies, to be quite honest, but we should be alright with that. A little tiny battle going on over there, it's also fine. We won, we got tiny amounts of everything, great. The 4th of June we'll have our big army consolidated, which means that we can run around and destroy their armies who are attacking our homelands. The key point here, the High Chief of Vafala? This guy. Oh, his name is Vafala, and he's the High Chief of the Yatviags. That's fine. He's all the way over here, if I remember right. These guys? Yeah, these guys here. These two little provinces there. That's alright. Anyway, what I was saying was the key point to winning a pagan war is to let their armies come to you. One of my dear half-sister, Prince Agnes, you know, the chaste... Oh, so that's how the King of Aquitaine died. He died in battle. So, sucks to be him. Anyway, my lovely chaste sister, who was having sex with her cousin and had 2 bastards, one of her children, Gerlach, has reached the point where he needs to be educated. I don't think I can legitimize him because he's not one of my children, so we're just going to try to make him a decent military commander. We'll give him the Gots chalk. Done. Anyway, the key point in winning a pagan war... See, we're already taking attrition here, but that's alright. We're not taking much attrition. And once we go below 1,000, it will stop, you know, attriting. But if we parked, say, this army somewhere, we'd have big problems. And that's why, as I'm getting to this point, the best way I find to win a pagan war, as long as you don't have level 3 or level 4 military organization, let them come to you. They can have their big armies on their territory, but if they bring them over to your stuff, then you can put your huge armies right at them. The exception is Norse, because Norse have bigger armies than everybody else. I believe they get a boost to the garrison and or the levy. Okay, there's our fight starting up. They'll get reinforcements in a moment. I lost my train of thought there for a moment. No, they won't. They have stopped reinforcing because we have completely obliterated some dudes. 7.8 war score, 6.1 prestige, 3 piety, 0.3 mil tech. And we captured this dude, who is the brother of the High Chief. Perfect. A noble has distinguished himself in this battle. Perhaps I can make use of him. So we've got a soldier turning up in our court called Udo. Let's check him out. So, order by reverse name, because U is closer to the end of the alphabet, I think. Where the hell is he? Oh, come on, he's supposed to be... Okay, so Udo has not shown up yet, because we were looking in vassals. Dumbass. Here we go. This guy, he apparently has distinguished himself in battle. He is a misguided warrior, so the worst martial stat. He is attractive. Okay, that's kind of an informed attribute. He's cynical, he's wroth, he's envious, but he's diligent. Yeah, he's nothing special. Anyway, we're going to send this army up here. We get a little bit of a disadvantage because we're attacking onto hills. Okay, and he's going to attack into Laxine, so that's going to be a big issue for us. It's Laxine Plains. Okay. So, what we need to do here, this is a slight issue. Not this thing where this guy's trying to kill somebody. Oh, he's speaking with the voice of Jesus. Lovely. I don't think this guy is in our realm, but he's trying to kill Lothar. Lothar being the spy master of Tyrol. He doesn't have enough plot power, so I really don't care. So this is the danger of letting them come to you and besieging their stuff a little bit by yourself. They may attack us and, you know, significant casualties. However, we can evade it. See, we'll leave here on the 23rd. They'll get here on the 24th. Perfect. And yep, some of them are even stopping. Or they arrived and then they're not stopping. Alright. So, they've stopped their movement. That's fine. What I'm going to do is send these guys down here now. So, these guys here, the Army of God's Chalk, which I should be part of, yep, is going to attack into Anhalt on the 28th and be reinforced 2 days later by Radolf's army. And the combined 4,500 should easily be able to take these guys out. Let's just wait for the timer to continue. We just had a siege warning message there. Oh yes, I can't stop thinking of all those prisoners in my dungeon. Yeah, all those prisoners. So, yeah, we can either resist foul impulses or oil up a rack. Let me just see something. Yeah, we're getting war score from holding the High Chief's brother. So we're not going to try and kill him. Resist my foul impulses. The Pope, in his infinite wisdom, Pope Sicinius? Pope Sicinius II has noticed our righteous struggle against the heathens, and he has dispatched a papal emissary with sufficient funds to assist me. He's giving us 200 gold. Because we're fighting in a holy war. Can we invest that in something? Yeah, we could get some heavy cavalry. That'd actually be kind of neat to have some heavy cavalry. But that would be all of our money gone. So that's 15. But heavy cavalry are good. I mean, they're the knights sort of thing. Whereas we could get 55 guys from upgrading our barracks. I think we're going to upgrade the barracks. It just gives us more guys. Not many more guys, but hey, everything counts. So he's going to come over here to Anhalt to try and reinforce, but we should have more dudes after everything's taken account of. There we go. Yeah, okay, so they put a guy with 1 combat. It's just weird. Okay, this is something we wanted to happen. Duke Luitpold. No longer Count Luitpold, our cousin. Oh, he's the one who's fucking his half-sister. Oh, wow, wonderful. I mean, with a moustache like that. But yeah, he saved us about 200 gold here by forming this duchy himself. I wonder if he's become an elector because of that. I don't actually know. No, he is not an elector. I wonder if we could make him an elector. That would be kind of weird. There's got to be somewhere where we can make people elector counts, or elector dukes, or whatever. Anyway, we're winning this battle. The only problem is that the center column outnumbers our center column. But we have a better martial stat than this guy, and we've got flankers moving into assist. So you can see, even though we're losing some morale, they're losing more. About time! We're going to poison our wife with poisoned wine. Okay, let's just let this flank fold already. New cardinal. There's a new faction being formed. 1.3% of my men. To this guy to be king. Yeah, good job there. Yeah, see, this is kind of an even matchup here. They're losing slightly more men, but we're losing morale. Now that's going to change. Very slightly. This is a protracted fight. I'm kind of hoping that this gives us enough war score to press our claims or something. Ah, there we go. He's fleeing. 35.7 war score. 27.6 prestige. 13.8. This is big. 1.3 piety. Great. And we imprisoned Priest Jaromir of Radgosk. Perfect. We also have righteous imprisonment against Gunhilda, who's the one who's actually trying to, you know, kill our wife for us. Anyway, I want to. These guys are probably all going to move into Brennerburg, so I'm going to send this army. It's lost a few men, so it's only got 800, which is still enough to besiege that place. And I think we're going to bite the bullet for just a moment. Let's see, they're going to get there on the 20th. No, we're going to sit this army here for now. Failure. Inge Babinger did not drink the wine and my complicity was discovered. So she's going to hate us, which isn't a great thing, because, you know, she's our wife. We can't even just execute her. We can try and imprison her, but again, it's not great. And, you know what we could do? We're just going to ask the Pope to grant us a divorce. It's going to cost us 50 piety, and her relatives aren't going to like us, but her relatives? I guess the counter-Thuringian... Oh no, they're all East Francians and stuff, so they don't matter. Let's ask for a divorce. And the Pope will indeed give it to me. In a few days. Let's see if this guy will accept peace. He will not. The war is indecisive. Like that divorce message soon. Now we're just having a little fight here for a reason, I guess. Whatever, we'll just clear these guys up. To the glorious King Loidolf, your wisdom and mercy are legendary. After much prayer and meditation, I have decided to grant your request to divorce your spouse on the grounds of consanguinity. What the hell is consanguinity? You know what? I'm going to forget that, so I'm going to actually just turn to my laptop for a moment and look up what consanguinity is. Huh. Well then. I guess we shouldn't have been ragging on our half-sister for having sex with our cousin for so long. It means we had a blood relative. Let's get married. 16-year-olds, where are they? Now, ideally, we're looking for a lustful 16-year-old with either a blue or a yellow trait. She's got a good blue trait, but no... Look, we're just going to look for lustful to begin with, so that's a little red dot with fire. You know, the fires of lust. Here's one. But she is a scholarly theologian, so she has a little negative penalty. Let's keep looking. No, that's greedy. Those are piles of money, not fire. Come on. How hard is it to find a lusty teenager? Seriously. These are matters which plague my everyday life. Come on. Okay, we're getting a little bit old here. 24, too old. Let's head back down. Where was that one? Here we are. Zvonimira. She's a crow. Zvonimira Domagojevic. I always don't know if this is supposed to be a Vic or a Vich at the end. Either way, you know, we get an alliance with the Bishop of Kirk, which isn't really all that important. She is Orthodox, so that's kind of an issue. That's one reason why she doesn't like us too much, because of religious differences. She gets -5 fertility for scholarly theologian. Let's just check through the rest of her stuff. And she gets +20 from that, so she's got a net +15. However, she's crap at everything. We want somebody who's at least partially good at, you know, being a steward. So let's just rank them on steward basis. Constanza is unfortunately depressed, which has a negative fertility component. Alerd, the regent of Maine, is a homosexual. Inge, who is our former wife, so we're not going to remarry her. Reneld here might be the ticket. She's fortune builder, so +10 fertility. And I don't think she has anything else. Ambitious and slothful is a very odd combination. She's got a nice stewardship, and the only one she's lacking is intrigue, which isn't great, but, you know, for a second wife, that's not too much of an issue. And we get an alliance with the Count of Hainaut. She's Dutch. Ranilde von Vlaanderen. Or, more specifically, Ranilde Rufstotter. Yes, let's make this marriage happen. So, we'll get that back in 15 days. We've just won a battle. And you can see we're above our demesne limit. And that's because, you know, our wife was contributing. We're going to hold on to this for a bit. Just take whatever penalties it throws our way. Won another battle. Great. We're now besieging that place. And... I'm going to keep this army here instead of moving them down to besiege one of these two places. Just because I don't want this army to get attacked and wiped out. Let's have that marriage come in. And then we'll probably look at ending the app. There we go. Marriage is in. Do we want gold or prestige? Gold. Yes, you accept that. That's wonderful. We get a tick up. She might not be good enough to get our... she also has a double. What is it with us and chins? She might not be good enough to get our demesne up again, in which case... we'll just wait out a month, see what happens. But if she doesn't, we'll just give this barony away. I think. We can always get it back later. Baronies aren't too much of an issue. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to be reducing the size of our demesne anytime soon. Let's just do a little check on this. We could also just get rid of the county of Weimar, but we are the Duke of Saxony, so not great. I'm loath to give the Countess another county just because she doesn't have a dynastic heir, so I'm not too sure how that's going to go down. So, yeah, we'll probably just hold on to it for a little bit, see what sort of penalties we get. You used to get massive penalties, like events would start popping up which made your realm unrunnable. And we've just had a King Trive of Norland join the war. That's alright. Odds are we're going to win this fairly handily. But that will have to come in next episode, I think. Yeah, so, you know, we'll end this here. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask. More than happy to answer them for you. Comments, you know, criticisms, anything would be fine. I'm open to all comments. And throw us a like if you liked it. And yeah, if you'd like to see more, make sure to hit the subscribe button. But in the meantime, I've been Sub. You've been yourselves. Later.